We slow it down under fading lights. We slow it down under fading lights. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Breathing in, breathing out. We slow it down. We slow it down. We slow it down. Tonight we lose the noise when it's just us. We lose the noise when it's just us. We slow it down. We slow it down. We slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it
Hello, hello. Welcome. It's a Monday. We're gonna have some fun with this, hopefully. SPY. We'll go through some charts first and then we'll figure out what we want to do. Welcome to Monday. It's going to be an interesting day. Not a lot of volume, so that's one thing. The second thing we got to look at is what is going to happen with the broader market, or if any news is going to hit. I think Jerome Powell's on at 10:30, and then there's like a bond auction or something at 1. So we'll do what we can, but it's looking like it's a pretty low volume day. And I did build out this, I'll show you guys and I'll post live afterwards. But I built out a very specific SPX page, and this is pulling in all of our data from from our own Gamma tool that's similar to Heatseeker, but also looking at how do we integrate physics and some of the Gamma exposure and the details that we're getting around it by strike and intraday updates and the timing system around this. So I'll post this live. It's included in everyone's plans, but I just want to show you that we're going to be building out, or I'm going to be building out some of these systems. I'm doing it for SPX right now. I'll add it for RUT and I'll add it for SPY and others. It's very similar to the Gamma exposure page that you've all seen, but I want to do it specifically by strike and take this entire system that I built out for key levels and expiration breakdown and kind of just augment it with all the other data that we're getting. So just wanted to do a little preview before we get into the charts and stuff, but that is coming out later today. Let's go look at SPY. 630 is the put wall. Whether we get there today or not, I have no idea. I do think it's going to be tested at some point in time. And I do think that I'm not interested in getting calls right at open. I think it's rejecting at that 640 area. Probably comes back down towards 635. Maybe it does a gap fill at 633. And then I'd be interested in getting calls. If you want to lotto something, you can lotto the 642 calls for right at open. You might have some drawdown, though. That's the only worry that I have. So I'm personally interested in getting puts around 640. If we close above that with volume, and I don't know if we're going to get the volume, then I would be interested in getting the 645 calls or 646 calls because you're likely to grind up towards this previous week low and then maybe undercut them above towards 646 and then come back down. So that's really what I'm seeing on SPY. I'll show you the little drawing that I made. For everyone, I do think that this is more likely to happen, and then you undercut above and then come back down towards that 630 put wall. So that's what I'm seeing. Whether that happens or not, I have no clue, but that's really where my mind goes towards how this chart is particularly behaving. I did swing some NVIDIA 170 calls for today. They might actually be green because I got them literally like right before close. But I spent like $90 on them. If they even go to $100, $110, whatever that number is, I'm just going to take the win and call it a day. 170 looks like you're setting up for a move above that and then undercut and then come back down towards that 167 gap fill area. So a lot of these high beta names are catching bids. We saw the volume come in for Google. So I'll just show everyone that these tools are worth their price in gold, because I can go into the institutional volume channel and just look at who's buying what. So a lot of shares being traded for Google, all the high beta names, NVIDIA, right? So about almost the same size, 600K shares. Tesla, not so much volume, so I don't think it moves today. Maybe it does it on Wednesday or Friday, but people are starting to buy these. On the indices though, like on silver, IWM, QQQ, SPY, not a lot of volume, so I think it might be a low volume chop day, but we'll see what we get. But that's what I'm looking there. ASTS and Rocket Lab, I think they're setting it for higher, especially because of the SpaceX IPO news. And this is looking like it's a nice cup and handle forming in the process. So whether it goes towards 86 or 90 is really my target. 97 is really what I got for the end of the week. We'll see. But again, that depends on the broader market as well. So, that's kind of what I'm watching for there. The Rocket Labs looks identical. You got that same inverse. You got this like cup and handle forming. You're well below the put wall. You're kind of come back up towards the 73 area probably by the end of the week, if not sooner. But again, this is all dependent on the broader market cashing bids and maintaining shape. For QQQ, 550 is the put wall. Whether we get there today or not, I have no clue. But let's draw a level there, and then I'll draw a level at the 550 area, which is your new put wall because they've changed it. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be good enough for us to see where the liquidity is and where market makers are positioned. And so I do think you're more likely to do this undercut, come back down, maybe do the gap fill and then go up. But if we keep going up towards like the pivot point at 572.50 and we hold above that, then I'd be interested in getting calls For now, puts are the better risk and reward at this level. In between two ranges, I don't really like to play, but again, if you want to do some lotto calls, you can lotto them for 575 for today, and maybe hedge up with a put for tomorrow for the 560 area. So that's really what I'm looking at. And same thing with SPY. I already went over this, but for all the new joiners, just want to make sure that we're on the same page. I don't know if we come back down and reject at 640 and come back down towards 633 and then go up. But if you want to get some calls, you can get the 646 strike for today and hedge them with the 630 put for tomorrow, because that's how market will likely move. Everyone's very edgy right now in the market, so I do think it's going to be a low volume chop day. We got news coming in at 10:30. We got some event at 1 for bond auction, I believe. So it might just not move a whole lot for the first hour or so, and then move really fast for like 30 minutes and then do nothing until 1 p.m. So do as little as possible. I did swing some calls for today and for Friday that might actually be green. So I got these NVIDIA 170Cs. They're almost in the money for today. And then I got 4 to 650Cs. I think they were like $200 or something. I can't remember exactly what they were. But I'm going to be looking at just exiting that position basically by open or around open. And then I already started this a couple of weeks ago, but I'm adding to it. It's really expensive, but you can get the 820 strike if you wanted to for 2027 as well. So that's really what I'm looking at. And then I went over this briefly, but I put together this SPX particular page. I'll push this live for everyone later today. But it goes through all the different exposures by volume, and then you can see like the expected path, right? You'll probably go up here, reject at 6,400, and then come back down towards 6,250 before deciding what to do, right? So just making it easy to better understand where dealers are positioned. And George was already saying, hey, calls below 638.95 and then, puts above 640.95. So this is your pin target. We're very close to it. We're right at 640 right now. Do I want to chase calls? Probably not. Knowing that pre-market we rejected there, knowing that on Friday we rejected there, right? So I'd be very cognizant or cautious on getting calls at this area right now. Let retail chase, and then we'll decide if we want to take calls here or do we want to take puts at a clean rejection at 640, maybe undercut at 641, right? So that's what I'm looking for personally. I do think puts are the better risk and reward, but if you wanted to, you could hold a call for 646 or maybe even 644 and then do the 630 puts for tomorrow just to make sure that you are covered in case of any downside news that comes out. The movement here is suspect to me. I think they're pricing in at $11 range for today, 17 for tomorrow, which is insane. So I'm expecting some big news to hit tomorrow. And your implied volatility is kind of juiced today. So big range, big dollar amounts. News is inbound. I just don't know what the news is. And then your dealers are positioned here at 644 area, 640 area. So we'll see if this has already been swept. So you're likely to reverse around this level to the downside, and you're likely to reverse here to the upside. So, and I don't know if we're getting to 650, 654, 662 today, unless like world peace happens. And I don't know if that does. And for SPX, I won't be interested in taking any plays until probably noon. It's really where my mind goes. And so I've been tracking this for the past week, and you can see all my signals. And I paste screenshots of like what I'm trading and why I'm trading it, and some of the profits and where I take profits, just so everyone knows that this is a real trader, not just like some BS. And then I'm using all the signals that I get from the George page and now this new SPX page to make sure that we can do this nicely, right? This is part of your subscription. You might as well do this. And yes, still the calls that open, or if you want to hold them for like 10, 20 minutes, you can do that, whatever you want. But I'm looking to exit most of my calls literally at open because I don't want to hold anything that might turn red. And so what I've been doing is taking all this data that we get back. It's included in everyone's subscriptions. And so just make sure that you use it to the full advantage. And I post a screenshot of like when I'm getting into trade or why I'm getting into trade and when I'm looking to exit. But one thing I'm noticing, and I've noticed this for the past week, I'll have the right direction in like 90% of the cases, but I'll have an early entry, right? So on Friday, 6,400p, there were $700. You saw me do this live. They were, in the live stream in the first like 20 minutes. And then by I think it was like 11:30 or 12, they went to $250. And then they ended up going to $3,300 by like the afternoon, and they expired in the money, right? And so like you could have got a 10x there if you just had the right entry. Like I know the first entry that I had was right. It was just early, and that was still a profitable trade. It never went red. But this is what I'm noticing on SPX. I might as well just wait until the market makers have shown their hand. And so right now they're showing their hand at 6,400, and then maybe a rejection there and coming back down to 6,350. But I don't want to chase, or I don't want to get the 6,400 calls right now. I'll maybe wait until later in the day to get them and see if they end up going green afterwards, right? And so that's really what I've noticed for SPX is like the direction and the strikes that we get back from George and all the tools that I built out are pretty accurate. The issue that we have as traders, or maybe not issues, like we just choose to go into it early, or maybe I choose to go into it too early, right? And so you already have this rejection now on SPY. So I'm looking at, let's just wait like 5 minutes and then we'll decide what we want to get. But I'm liking the 638 puts here, or maybe even the 635 puts, and I'm looking to exit those ASAP. And while I'm here, I'm going to just show everyone that the call that I got for April 2nd is green. I got the 650 strike at like 200. They're up to $300 here. Honestly, if anyone tailed me, just take the win. You don't need to hold anything that might turn red afterward. So then we see the spot price getting updated. You have more exposure towards the 6,400 strike. Like you saw that update in real time. So I do think you're likely going to come back down towards 6,400. Now, do I want to chase that here? Probably not. But let's just watch the first 5 minutes and see, where market makers are positioned. And this might be a low volume day, honestly. That's really where my mind goes. $3 million right now compared to the $14 million that we had on Friday. I don't think it's going to do much. And I don't want to get calls here either because I think you're going to reject at that 640.81 area. Everyone with me so far? And I'll get the 635 strike for today. See how these put premiums are holding? Like they're still holding $102 here. Well, you got a green candle. If anything, they're increasing. We're just going to wait and observe. I don't feel like doing a whole lot right now. And here's the move on the GAM exposure page. This is the pin target. So we're at the pin right now. I'm looking at getting puts in the next 4 minutes. I like the 635 strike personally, but if I can get this at like $70 or $60, that would be ideal. And again, trading is a game of probabilities. You're more likely to reject here because you rejected there this morning at pre-market and on Friday. And I think if you go back, it's been rejected there like back in September or whatever it was. So puts are the better risk and reward. Do you want to chase calls? This is up to you, but I'm looking at getting these 635 puts at like $70. That's really where my mind goes. I almost have to give it some time because I don't know what's going to happen. And Gamma just changed to the downside. All right, now I've got the 635 here, and I'm going to put a limit. I'm going to do it on my SPY account so everyone can see it. I'm going to put a limit at 70, and I'm just going to get one because this account is small. I'm starting with $100 every week. And then the NVIDIA ones that I had, I think they're probably red at this point in time. Yeah, they're down 40%. So I want to see if these come back or not. And then I'm just going to hold them to zero. I don't really care about losing $45 here. And then the SPY puts will likely be filled pretty soon. The 635 at 70 is really what I'm looking at. And I'm looking for like a 20-30% play here and then just calling it a day because I don't need to do a whole lot. I think George might have opened something maybe. No, not yet. I just don't like these low volume days. You can't do much. And I think my order just got filled. Nope. See how these put premiums increased? They went from like 73 to like 84. Oh, there. I mean, there's your dump. That's why. Dang it. I should have not put that discount, but oh well. I also don't want to chase it. If you want to get, you can get the 634 strike at like 65 maybe. Put a limit buy for that and then just take the 20-30% and call it a day. Oh no, it's gonna go down hard. Our order didn't fill, unfortunately. Okay, no chase. I don't want to chase this. I really don't. If someone got filled and they took that chase at 73 and you're up like 30% already. And then these went from like 65 or whatever to like 85. So we got a nice $20 gain there. If it holds at 637, oh, it's going to do the gap fill. Never mind. I don't know if it's going to hold here. I was going to say, like, if it holds at 637, it might just bounce up. And we can get some calls, but I don't think it's going to hold. And then this got exposed like hella fast. Okay, we're going to watch this next 5-minute candle. I'll go to the 5-minute. I think you're setting up for a move higher, like at least in the short term. Reject here again and then come back down really hard. So let's see what happens. And the reason I say that is because I've had these premiums are moving. You can kind of see like this 635 strike drop now, right? And the open interest is slowly going down, but the premium just dropped by like 20 bucks. If you want to lot of some calls, we can do that now. And let me just cancel that order because I don't think it's going to fill. Cancel that. And let's just see what these are doing right now. 635. No, it's holding actually. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, it's setting up for a move higher. I'm going to get some calls. Very small size of the 642 maybe. No, these are really expensive. I don't really want to spend that much money right now on the small accounts. If these premiums hold, it might be worth getting the 643 instead at like 60. We'll just watch. I think that was a bear trap. If this holds right here, we might be able to get some upside move. I'll change my plan. I'll be looking to get out of this call at like 640, 642 maybe if we get there. These are holding really well. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get the 644 strike. I'm going to get 2 of these at the 48. So I'm only looking at the risking $90 at some point in time. And then I'm only looking to get a nice 20-30% move. And I don't care what happens to the rest. I haven't placed the order yet. I'm just waiting to see if this holds or not. And I need this 5-minute candle to close. Then I'll decide what to do. Okay, so we're at the 6,400 spot price on SPX. You're more likely to reverse up and go towards 6,450. And similarly, you're about to hit the target here on the downside, and now you should be moving up towards 640. But I'm just waiting to get the right signal here before I chase or before I do anything. Okay, I think this is it. I'm going to do 2 of these at 48. I'll see if they get filled. I'm pretty sure these 670s are dead, but whatever. And they're filled. And again, I don't want to do much, so I'm just going to take the win at like 0.53 or point 0.55 maybe. And I'll submit that and see what happens there. Wow, all the bears are coming in for today. 638 puts. 606 puts for mid-April. That's crazy. Holy shit. Okay, you just put in a bottom there, hopefully. And this is starting to move. Great. That has not changed. And this should be moving up soon. I might have got a... There it is. See how that just dropped to like 0? And then we'll see if it wants to go up or not. If we lose 637, I'm going to cut these calls and take the loss. I wonder if news is sending it, but I haven't seen anything, so I don't know. If we close on the below 637 here, I'm going to cut these calls, but I don't think we will. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know why people are buying Amazon calls, or I don't know why institutions are buying Amazon. It makes no sense to me, but maybe there's some news incoming.
USO is spiking as well.
Oh no, that's bad for us. Let's see. I don't have a level here. Oh, this is all-time high, isn't it?
Even XLE's friend there is going.
Let's go look at XLE. I don't know. Actually, I feel like it's going to dump here.
It was for literally 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though.
Time to get XLE weeklies again.
I mean, it's not bad a hedge. Let's go look at the XLE.
And UNG.
Oh, no, we're going to do that again. XLE 65 calls are looking pretty good. Look at that open interest on the 64 and 65. That's insane.
Not bad.
I might get a hedge. XLE 65C weeklies at 30 per con.
And good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you all are, folks.
Well said, Timmy. Well said. Wow, Rocket Lab's nuking. ASTS is probably doing the exact same. Yep. I wonder what Google's doing while we're here. I don't know why they were buying this pre-market. Although you've maybe set it on bottom here. They're not letting it drop below pre-market lows. It's holding here. Just not a lot of volume.
Even when I'm looking at XOM today, it has a certain amount of volume that I haven't seen in a while on it.
Oh, dude, this is all-time high for XOM.
Good old Exxon at it again.
Let me just see what the calls are like. Give me 1 second.
Wow. Hang on, EQ and R's up. Yeah, I put out something about that. See.
Damn, $2,000 for these 6,400 calls. That's insane. IB's probably juice for everything right now.
Oh wow. Hey, the EQNR calls are moving. All right.
Did you also get the? This is the other one, ENOR. Did you get this as well? Or was that just me? Might have just been me. But I've had this
Probably was you.
Norway fund for like 3 weeks at this point in time, maybe. That's done pretty well.
Yeah, that was just you. But it works.
Yeah. Okay. We're not losing this bottom yet, or this 637 area yet. So I'm optimistic that our calls will live. I might add one more, but we'll see. And what else is above here? 64.25. Those are really expensive though. At $1,000. If they chop us up, they chop us up. But just low volume days are a grind. It's always. And no, we lost a level. Never mind. I'm going to cut these. Damn it. Fucking hate it when that happens. I don't want to chase puts either. I'm going to take the L. Apologies. Well, I'm only down like $30. I'm not going to cut these. I'm just going to keep them. I don't care. SPY. I would laugh if they come back down, or they come back in like 10 minutes and I cut them by accident. 6:30 is your pull wall. I don't know if we get there today, to be honest. I don't want to chase anything here. And the put rooms are dropping while I'm looking at it. I'm seeing a full closure below. That's the thing. I don't want to cut them until I do. And this is your pre-market low where we got this big impulse move up from. Oh yeah, Hawkeye has been buying a lot of Oscars. Same here, but I do like their leaps. If we go look at the 2027, like 20 strike is pretty appealing. A lot of open interest. 35 has a lot of open interest and they're really cheap, so. I just don't get why USO spiking and XLE is dropping here. Timmy, I don't know where you stand on this, but like this is what I'm seeing here on the 15-minute on USO head and shoulder. No?
My idea of USO is a little bit less technical analysis because what you were saying is completely valid. I see the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But I also know that geopolitical headwinds are can invalidate our technical analysis.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yes, I see exactly what you're saying. Looks a little bit oversold.
Overbought, you mean?
Overbought, yeah. I'm in Florida. Real estate terms somehow enter our vocabulary.
I'm not seeing much on Gamma right now. Like, I don't think there's volume. Yeah, nothing. They're rather likely to go up than down. Although I will say 6,000 exposed for like weeks at this point in time and 7,000 as well. But I don't know. We're not going to get there.
That being said, I'm probably, even though the spread is a little bit wacky, going to grab UNG calls for April 9th.
Let's do it.
Most likely the 12th strike, but again, the spread is a little bit whack.
The April 8th.
Was Robinhood showing me? April 8th. I can't read today.
What? 437? 0 DTE? I don't know what Ahmed's buying. If it's not moving, that's because MMs are setting up a position right now. I like the UNG calls as well, Timmy. The spread is a little whack, though. You're right. Why don't you get USO calls?
USO also works as well. I've also have B and O calls now, personally. Pretty wacky spread on those as well.
Oh, the 130 strike, I have a lot of open interest, but at 400 bucks, I don't know if it's worth the risk. What's the other one? BNO?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
the
Brent
Brent
crude.
crude, I see. These have decent spreads. Not much volume, though.
The way I view it for oil is a lot of people aren't probably buying into USO common stock right now, so I kind of feel you can buy B&O common stock and then use USO weeklies or if not that, then or data contracts for longer dated to offset it. That way you kind of play both mixed with a little bit of oil and gas stock.
I like it. Well, that might have been the undercut. We'll see if it goes up here.
Let's see.
And let's see if the 6400 call premiums have dropped a little bit. 1800 bucks. Do I want to risk that or not? I don't know. And 6430 is the one above that at 800. Yo, these premiums are juiced, man. Is this big as a VIX? Let's go see what VIX is up to. Yeah, you're rejecting here. Wow, look at these spikes. Holy crap. Oh, it's on the daily. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, you're going to reject at 30 here around for VIX. Let's see if this holds. I think it's going to hold. I might get one of these 6435s at 7. I remember the 6440s. Although not a lot of volume, so I gotta wait. Market's only been open for freaking 22 minutes. Why is it holding here? It makes no sense. It's in the middle of two levels. There's nothing here. Unless I draw a level here, but I don't know if that's the right call because we've only seen it once. I'm suspicious here. This looks like a compression candle for a market maker to go up. And this has increased. And this has increased. Why is it holding here? Why? Why are you doing that? If they wanted to drop it, they would drop it. I just don't see why it's holding here. And let's see if the 6400 premiums go up here. 8 minutes ago, we had a strong move towards the upside. But do we see that here or not? I don't know. Wow, he's gonna keep nuking. All right. I'm not gonna cut those calls. I'm gonna keep them. I might roll them for a day out or two out. But what I'm gonna do instead is take this for tomorrow. Oh, sorry, today. The 631's at 72 or 70. I don't know what the number will be. And I'm just gonna do that and call it a day. Oops, wrong account. And this is a hedge designed to go to 0. If it works out, it works out. But I'm gonna see if I can get this instead. What I'm gonna do is post it here. So holding 6. What do we get? 640 strike. 644 C40 DT at 48 per con. Holding 2 out of 2. Might roll to Wednesday. Got 630p at 68. Just one con as a hedge. If this works out, this will pay for the L on 644C. And let's see what happens here. Because these went up a little bit, but not a lot. And on SPX, what I'm going to do is, because you're almost at the gap fill here, is not do anything until later. And then let's see if this imbalance holds on SPX. If it does, you're more likely to go up than down. And I'm just going to look at it on the 15-minute and just wait until later in the day to take a position. I'm not going to do anything right now. And USO rejected right there. That's what I was expecting. And VIX is spiking for some reason. Google's holding still. And NVIDIA's probably cooked. It was green at the morning, but now we're at pre-market lows and market lows from Friday. Do you bounce here or not? I have no idea. And we got filled on those 630 puts. You're up from 68 to 78, so it's a $10 gain. I'm going to hold them anyway. Okay, the 630 puts went from 68 to 82. If you got filled, just take the win. I'm suspicious that these put premiums are dropping right now, that we're going to get a relief bounce here. I'll go back to the 15 minutes because the first 15 are done, and all I got to do is just draw a range around this. And if this works, this works. But I'm going to hold that. And you're holding at the exact same pre-market bounce level. Taking the 670, oh, sorry, 630 puts. Need to take the, I can't even type. When the premiums drop like this, I get suspicious. Meanwhile, I want to see what happens on SPX here. 6,400 calls are how much? 1,300 bucks. It's not bad. It's not ideal, but it's not bad either. I Can maybe get the 6440s at 450. See how those premiums just jumped? They went from like 440 to 470. I think buy volume is heading right now. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I want to get these 640s here. 6440, maybe the 6400s. These went up like crazy. I saw that happening too. Okay, there's the undercut. Now I think you should go back up to where 6480, 6426 maybe. I really don't want to chase it here. Maybe I'll put it in order. If it fills, it fills. I'm just gonna get one, and I'll scale in or scale out. Maybe at 470 if I can get it. Taking SPX 6440C at 470 per con. Limit buy will set a sell at 600 and hedge with $6,300 at 300. Okay. There's a rejection on VIX, rejection on USO, bottom on NVIDIA, bottom on Google. Oh, there's the buy volume. Okay. And then you're likely to go up towards 6,400 now on SPX. Hopefully you took the win on those puts because I think they're about to go up really fast. And the volume increase, that's nice. My 6440s have not filled at all because why would they? Why would they fill? Because they're at $560 right now. Of course not. Of course they wouldn't fill. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get that at 4 instead, or 5 instead. Oh shit, it filled. Never mind. Was there some news or something? Why did this happen? Yeah, I'm glad we saw this. Took a while to play out though. Come on, just fill my order. I don't want to wait.
Well, while we're waiting, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit about what's happening this week. We have the Artemis launch happening in Florida, assuming NASA doesn't delay that or weather doesn't. And we have a lot of Fed speakers tomorrow as well, coming on data as well.
Tomorrow, eh?
Yes.
Oh, damn. Oh, we're getting some data tomorrow too. 10 a.m.? 10 a.m.? Fed speaker
that
at
is
12?
correct.
Oh, no.
So that also is possibly a reason why IV is reflective of potential macro comments.
George is doing something weird. He opened the 637 at $1.59 a while ago, and then he said he closed it at break even, but it's not at break even. It's like about 20% up. He opened it again
Oh, yeah.
at where he closed it, but the premium, the premium is saying off. Like he did have a win right there. It just shows a zero.
Okay, I'll look into that. So just so people know, I did a data transfer on Friday, I believe. So we have a new account set up, so that might be it. But I'll take a look at that. Good call, Warlock. Damn, his entry was better than ours. Holy shit. Why do
He
you-
is back in at 188 on the 637, which is essentially where he sold. So for whatever reason he closed, he immediately re-entered the same spot.
Yeah, he probably saw the volume pickup on the contract, to be honest. Okay, my order filled. Let's see what it does. If I can get a nice win there, I'll be pretty happy. Our calls are not dead, so that's kind of nice. Not completely dead, at least. What is this rejection? Makes no sense. You know what? I should have kept it at the 450 strike that I wanted, or the $450 that I wanted. I might have added another one if it goes down a little bit more. Yeah, that's what happens when you have no volume. It can go either way, but slowly. Although the VIX rejection was spot on. Rejected right there. USO rejected right there. Head and shoulder coming to fruition. All right. And Google nuked. That's not ideal for us. NVIDIA probably did the same thing. Almost. If Apple's catching bids, it's a flight to safety. And it's not. Okay. Although, it's looking pretty good. Maybe some calls for Wednesday. What is going on? Did the volume change? Nope. Well, actually, it went up. Volume's looking good now. But no movement. Why is that? They might be just setting up for the event at 10:30, honestly. That might be it.
I think Fed Governor Miran might be speaking soon.
What time is that? By the way, if you got filled on SPX calls at 470 or 450 even, if you got it that low, you're green. You're green by like 20, 30% there. I really just want to take the win at 600. I don't care about holding this all day. Maybe 620. Maybe 700, actually. I don't know if I'll get that, but that's what it is. Upside got lit up. That's nice. Upside got lit up, but it's not like a lot of volume. Like 400 mil compared to billions that we got on Friday.
I was just trying to look into it. There's no way for us to get puts on Air Canada.
Air Canada? And why?
Because the CEO resigned and there was a little bit of a. They're in the news because they're saying they didn't handle the condolences well.
Oh, the
CEO
French. Yeah, I saw that. Okay, the calls are
Well,
green. And that's not much, but if you want to take the win at 3%, take the win. If you got them at 450, you're up like, what is that? $40, $50? What the fudge is going on? Hold on. Hold on. Are they setting up a move towards like 64, 50, 60? It's like this is the imbalance above. And above that, you're flying towards this imbalance. Okay, we're up 10% on these calls. If you want to take the win, take the win.
I got entry at 4.7, and
You're up 20?
Are you saying?
You're up 20?
15%, we'll call it that.
Yeah.
But I also got two of them as well. Oh, Mooseless says they sold their 640 for 5% gain. Thank you for the pump. Luxem is saying, it looks like it wants to pop hard. That is true, it does.
I don't know about that. I think it's... Hold on. Something's going to happen here. This is moving weird. Like there's some news inbound. You see how this is moving on VIX? Between 30 to 31 basically. I'm suspicious right now. Either this needs to reject and reject hard and come back down towards 28, maybe even below that. But this on SPX and SPY, it's moving like there's news inbound. I just don't know what the news is. Because we saw this happen last week as well, right? Or like the last 2 weeks where it just like raised liquidity on an imbalance constantly, right? And then it decides to go up in one direction or the other. We saw that clearly on Friday as well. Just rating imbalance, and then nuked after that news came out. We saw that on Thursday, imbalance, nuked, imbalance, nuked. We saw that on Wednesday, rating that imbalance constantly, and then just dumped. So I do think this is setting up for a news event. I just don't know what the news is, unfortunately. I'm not on the inside today, as I normally am. But it's setting up for a move. I just don't know which way. So I think straddle might be the way to go again. I just want to see if it reclaims the 6,400 area. Then I'd be looking at getting out of all calls, basically.
It's currently at 5.35.
It's a $100 gain.
Yes, it is. Or a little bit less, but hey, a gain is a gain.
Okay, there's the pop. There's a move. There's a move. I'm looking at a rejection here. If it doesn't reject, it's going to go a lot higher. Like, just so people know, if you flip this imbalance, you're likely to go towards this bigger one up here at 64.27. That one's huge. It's been rated a bunch of times on Friday. And this particular imbalance goes back to like, I think it's here, September 2025. It's a pretty big level. Just no volume, though. That's the thing that worries me. There's no volume today.
And he says Powell is talking at 10:30.
If Powell's talking and it's pumping right now, I'm worried about a dump afterwards. So honestly, you take the win at 15, 20, whatever the number is here.
5.6. 5.7. Actually, we may get that sell fill sooner than later. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it will fill. I just don't know when.
RUT is up $11 in 15 minutes, says Hawkeye.
I'm going to trust my process here and just, even though I don't know what the news is, I'm going to think that this is going to go towards this area before it rejects. Because that's where it rejected from early this morning. And I think this is setting it for a higher, maybe an undercut above, and then come back down. But I don't know if we get that in the next 15 minutes or not. So I'm going to diamond hand these calls and the other ones that I still have. And I took the win at least on the puts at $80. If you want to take the win at 10%, you should, or 11, whatever the number was. I'm going to hold it because I think it's going to go. This is your retest. This is the retest of this volume bar and then go up. So if anything, I'd be interested in getting more. Egg, I don't know if you should enter that, to be honest, because like it's really expensive for your size of account, at least what you've shown me. So if you want to play Spy instead and get the 640 strike. Spy 640C better. And hedge with 1DTE 630p. And if it comes back down to a discount that I like at 400, I'll get more. You should see this as well. Like you're getting I think it's a red candle. And the premiums are going up. Call premiums, I mean. Did George close his position? Let me just check. He might have been stopped out. Yes. I had to fix these stop losses for him. They move really fast and he can't calculate it fast enough sometimes. So I just got to figure out a way to either increase them or just find a way to scale it into a position rather than take the loss at it's like 4%. That's nothing. But I think he's right. He's just probably like 5 minutes early again. I got to run in 10 minutes, but I'm going to hold these and I'm going to hold the other calls that I have. And if it comes back down to like a discount at $400, I'll get some of these. But I don't think I'm going to get that, to be honest. See how the downside is shrinking here on the SPX page? An upside's lit up. I think that you're going to move up. And let's go see the gamma page. They're still buying. That's kind of nice. There's a buy to dip. Not a lot of volume on SPX, so we'll wait. These premiums are holding. I'm optimistic that we got to move up here soon. Let's see what QQQ is doing. Oh, there's a move up on VIX. Okay, I think that's a sweep for lower. And you're about to reject on USO again. I think at that 127.60 area. Flip that, you're going to go up like hard. But I don't know if we flip there. QQQ, I think it's starting to catch some bids. Let's see. There's a compression candle. This is where our market makers set up a position. If you stay inside that, you're good for calls. If you break below that, you're going to go dump hard. But we're holding here, so I'm optimistic that we're going to move up towards 575, maybe 572 on QQQ here. And literally the same story on SPY and SPX. You're holding within this control bar. Let's see if it holds and comes back down towards orb and goes up. Or if it closes below, you're going to nuke hard. And then SPX, literally the same story. You're holding in this control bar. Let's see if it does that and goes up or not. And I'm interested in getting these. If they don't hold, they don't hold. And this is where you can do the straddle of the 6300 at 240 maybe. But I don't know if that's the right move because I don't think there's any volume below this. It's only above. By the way, Egg, if you got those 640 calls, you should be green. Take the win, man. These premiums are dropping. I'm suspicious right now. Why is it doing this? I just don't understand. I also know as soon as you sell, it's going to like fly. Wow, do not check your long-term portfolios, y'all. I'm down bad. Wow, that's not ideal. Oh my god.
Bought some more Walmart stock today, so
Jeez. How is it down 20%? Makes no sense. The market isn't down 20%, is it? No.
it's not. But it's also dependent on the type of sectors that you could be positioned in, because some areas can be affected more than others. Costco, Walmart, for example, actually up overall in the year. Um, Quantum related stocks, um, are painting a new Casablanca based off that.
Nice, I like it. You said Walmart. Do you have? I think I started a position as well. I also started a position like all these retail plays like AEO. I don't know why. I really like it. I've been averaging like $50 a week into this. And I really like Costco, but I also went over this like last week. Just have a nice position going on this. I also like Rost. I think a bunch of us were in Rost for a little while. Micron looks like it's oh man, this is not looking good. Although I see this as being a nice bottom here. Your pull wall is at 345, so I think you're gonna move up. It's holding it still. That's kind of nice. And SNDK, I don't think it looks better. It looks about the same. Yeah, ASTS and Rocket Lab calls I really like because of the SpaceX or whatever Artemis launches this week. Whether you want to chase that here or not, I don't know, but it's looking like it's going to move towards 97 by the end of the week or maybe next week. So what I did was I got the 100 calls for the end of this week. They're red, obviously, but I'm going to hold them and see where we end up because we still got time. US are rejecting. Nice. VIX should be rejecting. I'm
Plus,
90%
there is
sure.
a
Yeah, go
one
ahead.
just sent me something that there was a AI enabled space data center company that just did some private round fund that just completed their Series A.
What was it called?
Let me see if I can find it here. Someone sent it to me when I was at DC. Let's see. Star Cloud. They did 170 in Series A.
Oh man, that's a nice site.
And folks, for you all that don't know, I've been working on something. I've been talking to Shabs and Easy and some other people about this, basically saying, yeah, this area is about to take off, about to launch off. Long term, though. More on that will be posted in the Substack.
Data center. I mean, it makes sense. You can cool them pretty easily.
You know who's heavily involved in this?
NVIDIA.
Microsoft.
Microsoft involved in this?
In this type of data stuff, yeah, it's absolute. It's incredibly interesting that you haven't heard as much about it. Google, Microsoft, they're already preparing for orbital data centers.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Heck, even Nokia, are their plans when they're working with LUNR is to set up a private data center on the moon because you can have LTE networks that can work independently of cellular.
I like it. I do have a lunar like $20 leaps for 2027. They were in the money like a couple weeks ago. I do like the lunar plays. ASTS have a lot of commons in, and Rocket Lab as well. Microsoft's looking interesting here. I think it's about to move up. You're above the call wall too. I don't know if you
And
reclaim like
Microsoft
370 your area, or I don't know what happens there.
and the calls do live, by the way, especially the 640s.
Yeah, this should still be green. Although there's going to be a news event in 5 minutes. I don't know what we get. But I'm optimistic that this is setting up for a move higher towards 64.28, maybe 64.44 if we get lucky.
As long as Powell says good morning or good afternoon or purple tag.
Yeah, but whenever he says good morning, he just like dumps. This happens every single time. Although I think it's going to be a nothing burger, so I don't think anything's going to happen. I'm just going to take a hedge here just in case. I do think it's setting up for a move higher, but I'm going to take a hedge just designed to go to zero. 6,300 at 235 or maybe $2 if I can get it. Because I'm worried about that move down towards that put wall. I'm just going to get one. This is going to be my hedge for the day. And if it goes to zero, it goes to zero. And I'll post that here. 200. 700. Filled on 64.40. Original entry at 500 peaked at, I think, 15%. If you got it around 450, you'd be in the P still. I do like UFO Commons as well. If you want to keep track of the space theme but not pick individual stocks, this is looking like it's going to move pretty soon. And all we can do is just draw a simple trend line from there to there, and then draw a simple trend line from here to here. And you're about you're getting it at a discount compared to the trend here, so it might be worth a while. And I do like Lunar as a stock, although they had a pretty bad launch a couple of years ago. Or I think it was last year, if I remember right. Ended up selling most of it right before then, luckily, but it dumped and then it came back up. If you look at where they had that failure of a launch, it was like right around this area or this area. And it's just been like grinding a higher ever since. So it might be worth getting some Lunar stock as well. And Microsoft looks like it's about to go, but I'd be interested in seeing if it clears above 365 here. Because that's a low from Friday.
A guy says IWM is nuking.
Let's go look. I don't know. You're still within that control area here. Yeah, let's just draw a line. It just looks like an undercut to go up. Like, unless you have I don't know, a high pain tolerance, if that's the right word. But I wouldn't be interested in chasing puts here. Like, you're setting up this flag almost, right? Like, this is what I see. It's a small one, don't get me wrong, but it is there. So I'm thinking that this moves up at the same time as everything else. But you should get 1 DTE hedges. Iran is exporting more oil during the war than before. I mean, that makes sense. This is how you get an industry going. By the way, if anyone tailed me on those Nokia calls, they're up like a little bit. Not a huge amount, but they're up a little bit. 22%. And then I think I mentioned XLE calls some time ago. Let me just show that. Oops. They're up like 110%. 103, it's 107% now. So if anyone got those, take the win. Honestly, I only have 2 left. These are just free runners. I don't know. I don't care what happens to them. And my hedge filled, so I'm just going to hold it to 0. And I'm still holding these calls. So we'll see where that goes. See, okay, this is what my worry was about those chasing puts at the bottom here. Like, this is a flag to go higher. Usually. It doesn't always have to happen, but usually this is a flag to go higher. Oh, my puts are green. What? Puts 6,300 P filled up 5%. Holding to 0 because this is a hedge. Okay, I got to run, but I'll keep everyone informed of like where these end up. And if the calls come back on the SPY, like they come back, I've already sold those puts. But I do think you're setting up for a move higher. I don't know if we get substantial news in like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever the number is. But I do think you're setting up for a move like a lot higher. If that happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then we got puts and hedges anyways. And then I'll keep the SPX channel updated whenever I see things. But right now, I'm just not seeing any volume. So they might just chop it around this control bar for the next like hour or two before moving up or down. And if anything changes, I'll let everyone know. But right now, 6,400 is lit up. It has been lit up all day. That's your pin zone. And 640 on SPY is your pin zone. On IWM, 243 is your pin zone, and QQQ, it's like 570 or 565 is your pin zone. So that's really what I'm looking at here. 565 is your pin. IWM is 242, I believe. Yes. And SPY 640 is a pin, and SPX 6400 is a pin. So we'll see what happens, but I do think it's setting up for a move higher. I just don't know when that's going to happen. It might take all day. All right, I'll see everyone soon.